Hey everyone, it's Sarah from pinkcricket.com, and today I have a box tutorial for you. I haven't done a box tutorial since I've been back. I kind of eased into things, but I love to make boxes, so I thought we would do that today. So the box we're going to make today is just one piece. So this is what it's going to look like, and I chose to use fall colors because it's getting to be fall slowly but surely. The leaves haven't started changing here yet, but I know it's coming. So this is what we're going to make, and this box kind of opens like a hamburger box in a way, and it just flips open, and then you can fill it with whatever you want. Candy, which is what's going to go in this one, or some other kind of little gift. You wouldn't be able to fit a gift card in here, but you could fit all kinds of different stuff in there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to make that box. The first thing you'll need is a piece of cardstock in whatever color you choose, and the cardstock needs to be measured 10 inches by 5 7/8 inches. Okay, and then we're going to make some score lines. So if you're crafting with me today, I'll give you a second to cut your cardstock at 10 by 5 7/8, and then we're going to go ahead, and our first score lines are going to be on the long side of the paper. The first score line at 1 3/4. And then the next one will be 4 1/8. And then after that, 5 7/8. Okay. And then the last one on this side is 8 1/4. Whoops. Okay. And after you have that, you're going to turn it and you're going to be on your short side, okay? And on the short side, there's just two score lines. The first one is at 1 3/4, all the way down, and then 4 1/8, all the way down. And then you're done with the scoring board, so you can put that to the side. Okay. It's been a couple days since I've made a video. I actually, my basement flooded. My craft room is actually in the basement. We had a pretty big thunderstorm and we got some water in the basement. It wasn't devastating. I lost some paper. That's pretty much it. My albums were all up. Everything else was up. So mostly it was paper. And it wasn't even a ton of paper. It was a few stacks. So anyways, we got lucky. I shouldn't even complain. I know people have it a lot worse. My parents actually lost everything in their house, a flood. So yeah, no, I shouldn't even complain. So I feel bad even about complaining, but my room is kind of a mess. So things are all up, and some things are drying out, like my Cricut mats and stuff. So once we have that scored and we've done our little crease lines, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start doing some cutting, okay? And what we're going to do is, if you can tell from this paper, you're going to have square, rectangle, square, okay? You need to pay attention to that because we're going to be cutting differently for the squares versus the rectangles. So the first square, we're going to just cut that slit all the way up to that first score line. Oops, I went a little far. And then you're just going to trim a tiny little triangle out of here, okay? And you're going to do the same on the other side of the square. Just really guess on that. It's not going to hurt you if the triangle is a little bit wider than the other ones or whatever. So we're going to go back to the square, do nothing to that rectangle, and then we're going to go ahead, if that rectangle leaves me alone long enough, to cut this little tiny triangle. Okay? And then cut on our square line again, leave that rectangle alone, and cut out a little triangle on this part of the square. So there's actually two triangles cut out, okay? You guys might be better at this than I am. Okay, cut out the square, cut out that little bitty triangle, and I always have to kind of pull mine. And then one more on this side, just like that, okay? So that's what it looks like on that side. Then we're going to flip it over and we're going to do the same exact thing on that side, okay? So cut on the square, cut a little triangle, I didn't go all the way up. Make sure you don't forget the ones on the ends. Like I said, it's not, don't freak out about it. It's not a huge deal if you get it a little off, okay? Obviously don't make a huge triangle, but you know what I mean. So anyway, yeah, so the flood came. I didn't even notice. Like, it didn't even seem like that bad of a storm. So the next day I noticed my little pink rug was wet. And I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. My my craft room Uggs that I leave down here because I get cold feet in the basement was wet. They were wet. So I'm going to throw those in the washer and hope that they turn out okay. All right, so there's that. Let's get these out of our way. And the very next thing we're going to do is we're going to get ready to adhere, okay? So let me grab my HEG. Okay. And we're just going to be putting adhesive on all these funky shaped ones. So all the used to be squares, now, what is this? I wanted to, rhombus, right? Is it a rhombus? Okay. I'm going to have to look it up because it's going to bother me. Or you guys can leave it in the bottom in my comments. Okay, I don't pretend to know everything. All right, so now that we have those all adhesived up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start connecting them to the pieces right next to them and lining up the crease with the tab, okay? And we're going to do that on both sides, and then we're going to do it again. Okay, so the next one. So it's folding itself into itself, okay? Just make sure those creases line up. Hopefully I've been on the camera this whole time. Okay, then this is the lid part, okay? This is our box part, this is our lid part. So we're gonna fold this part in, we're gonna match it up here, and now we're making our lid. So make sure, it'll be obvious once you start doing it, I promise. Okay, so that's it. There's our little box, okay? And then it goes on the outside of the bottom. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to decorate our little box. So how we're going to do that is we have any kind of patterned paper. The patterned paper I'll be using today is actually from this old stack, the Autumn Splendor stack from DCWV. And I couldn't tell, it's from 2010. That's really bad. Okay, I went through all my fall stacks and it was my favorite one. So, well, it was the one that I liked for this project. Okay, so you're going to cut 4 pieces out of your patterned cardstock, and those pieces are going to measure 2 1/8 by 1 1/2. Those are your rectangles, okay? And then you're going to cut out another piece that measures 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. That's your square piece. All right, so we're going to go ahead and adhere those pieces where they go. So that will be obvious too. Put the square on the top, put the sides around. I would only suggest that when you're doing the top, to make sure that you put a lot of adhesive on that sucker because you don't want it lifting, okay? Nothing worse than lifting sides on a box that's decorated, see? Alright, once all of your paper's on there, all of your decorative paper, you can put a sentiment on there if you'd like. And I'm going to do that, or a pad, or like a flower, or anything like that. Do not put a bow around it because then you can't open it, because I thought of that first and I was like, wait a second, that doesn't work. So we're going to use just the back of my pattern paper actually, and we're going to stamp a sentiment on it, possibly. This sentiment is a close to my heart sentiment. I know you guys asked last time I used sentiments what they were from. Those ones that day were from Pink by Design. These ones are from Close to My Heart. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this. It says, thanks so much. Oh, my abs kind of hurt. I've been exercising. So I've been a little bit sore. I can't believe I forgot to tell you guys this. And it's been good. I've been making our whole family eat cleaner, which has been good. And I have been exercising. So hopefully it goes well for me. We'll see. Alright, I'm just trimming that down a little bit, and we're just going to pop dot that on the back so that it sticks up just a little bit, okay? Rid of it. So, okay, so we're going to put that there, and that's it. That's our little cute box. Now I could fill it with whatever, and like I said, I usually have candy down here, but somewhere in the cleaning up of the flooded area, I don't know if it got tucked under something, or maybe someone ate it. I'm not sure, but so I will have to get some candy from upstairs in the pantry. No candy in the craft room. Sad. Okay. Sad panda. Alright, so that's it. There's our little box. You can give these to teachers this fall. Perfect idea. And, oh, I put sequins on this one, so I'm going to put sequins on this next one too. And then that's it. Nothing else. Okay, sequins, because, you know, they're pretty. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.